At work, not only treating cancer, but in educating our local communities on early detection and prevention. Certainly is a well-known fact for us in Kentucky that we have some of the highest rates of cancer in the nation. Here at Owensboro Health, we treat certainly a lot of and a high rate of breast cancer, lung cancer, colon cancer, bladder cancer every year. We've all seen statistics and heard the news. The risk factors on smoking and obesity are too high. The participation in screenings is obviously too low. And that's where Owensboro Health's Mitchell Memorial Cancer Center comes in. It represents hope to this region. For all of us that have had anyone in our family that has experienced cancer, we know what that means to a family. But hope to patients that they can receive high-quality care right here in Owensboro. Hope that we'll be able to detect or even prevent cancer before it starts. Hope that today's research will be tomorrow's cure. Hope that we can change the culture and build healthier communities for future generations. The physicians and staff at the Cancer Center devoted their lives to making this hope possible. With expert treatment, advanced technology, and clinical research, they perform miracles every day. And I've seen some of the evidence of that just in my passing through the Cancer Center from time to time. But overcoming cancer is not a solo effort. It is a team effort to bring the best treatment options to our patients and to further our understanding of cancer. We want to work with organizations that are on the forefront of research who are thinking outside the box. It's also important to partner with systems that share our passion for improving the lives of the people that we serve in our region in the state of Kentucky. This area is our home, and we want to see it healthy and vibrant. With this in mind, we could not have found a better partner than the University of Kentucky and the UK Markey Cancer Center. So today we're announcing that Owensboro Health has joined with the UK Markey Cancer Center Research Network, an affiliation that will greatly expand access to research and clinical trials for cancer patients in Western Kentucky and Southern Indiana. With this agreement, Owensboro Health, through the Mitchell Memorial Cancer Center, will be able to conduct innovative research studies on the treatment, prevention, and early detection of cancer that are led by the Markey Cancer Center. This means more options, more hope for families and patients and family members and their patients who are affected by cancer right here in Owensboro. Research has long been a major focus for our Cancer Center. Now we are being honored to be connected to the UK Markey Cancer Center, the state's only NCI-designated cancer center, and only one of 49 across the country. And we look forward to an exciting future and hopefully be a part of the next major breakthrough in cancer research. Now, to tell us more about Owensboro Health Mitchell Memorial Cancer Center, I want you to join me in welcoming Dr. Allen Colin, who is the General Surgeon here in Owensboro and a physician liaison to Owensboro Health's Cancer Committee. Dr. Colin, if you'll come.
Thank you, Greg. I'm going to have just a very few brief words to say. There were several other people that come forward, and Greg has kind of outlined things very nicely, and I'm just going to echo what he said. But there's three points I do want to make. And first of all, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the UK, the Markey Cancer Center. Just overwhelmed, really, I am, with the number of people and leaders from University of Kentucky and the Markey Cancer Center that came here in Owensboro today. And it's a real honor, especially Dr. Evers, Dean Paola, and Dr. Tim Mullett. I do want to say something in particular about Dr. Mullett, because I know him better than some of the other dignitaries here. He came here to Owensboro in 2003 when the tobacco settlement money had come through, and the governor had established a task force to earmark that money to fight the battle tobacco-related cancer. And Dr. Mullet came here and asked us to be part of that, and I'm thankful that happened, that I met him, that he's continued to come here and help us and lead us in this cancer fight, research, prevention, treatment, particularly. So we were part of the original Kentucky Clinical Trials Network, thanks to Dr. Mullet's outreach, and he's still doing that, obviously. So thank you to everybody, especially Dr. Mullet. I would like to say thank you to the Markey Group for inviting Owensboro Health to be part of the Clinical Trials Network. We're thrilled and we're honored, and I think it's going to be a good thing for both parties. And I would like to say thank you to Greg and the Owensboro Health Administration for supporting this endeavor and supporting us in everything we do at the Cancer Center, at the Mitchell Cancer Center, the staff, the doctors, and everything we do to care for the patients in our 14-county region. We couldn't do it with the backing that we get from them every day and what we're trying to do. Secondly, I'd like to express a gratitude again to the administration. We're grateful to have this beautiful facility to work in, and it's just a pleasure every day to come to a place like this. And again, we're fortunate to have the backing of the community and the hospital administration. And I'm grateful to have this opportunity to collaborate with an NCI designated cancer center, which is what the Markey Cancer Center is. Everybody here may know that, what that means, but it's a big deal, and it's a real, it's just a real shame that Markey has that designation and has accomplished what it takes to be an NCI designated cancer center, and now that we get to collaborate with them. So again, very grateful for all those opportunities. And then lastly, I'd just like to express some hope and optimism again, like Greg mentioned, for the future of cancer care that we can provide here and in Kentucky with University of Kentucky Markey leading the way and helping us, and hopefully we can be part of it. I think it's going to be a better future for patients diagnosed with cancer. Hopefully there's going to be prevention. There's going to be less cancer, and it's going to be less of a burden on all of us. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Mullet, Professor of Cardiothoracic Surgery at UK. He's the Director of the Cancer Network there at Markey, and a friend, and I'm glad he's here one more time.
Thank you, Dr. Mullins. I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I certainly welcome each of you all to this announcement. What a great opportunity, and something that frankly we've been looking forward to for quite a while. Earlier in the invocation, we heard about planting seeds, and I think that this is a good example of over a year ago. I talked with Dr. Petrie, we talked with Dr. Mullins, Dr. Sherm, and others, and planted some seeds, talked about some potential, talked about opportunities. And as we continued with that, we cultivated that relationship and cultivated the opportunities that we had. And I think that we really had already developed some fertile ground with the work in the Kentucky Clinical Trials Network that Dr. Mullins mentioned. And so I certainly look forward to harvesting the bountiful benefits that I think are likely to come from our being able to work together. So, Mr. Strahan, Senator, thank you all for your opportunities, other guests, and I think that what we bring with the Markey Cancer Center Research Network in this connection with Owensboro Health as our 6th site within the network, a network which continues to grow now across the state. The Research Network is really a collaboration of high-quality facilities that participate in cancer care. Our network members are really invited on the basis of their ability to participate in excellent clinical research and clinical care. And in that regard, Owensboro Health is a perfect candidate. I've worked with my friends and surgical colleagues, Dr. Mullins, Dr. Adams, for years. And I've enjoyed getting to know the other members of the cancer team through our work with our statewide efforts in lung cancer. And it's certainly an honor to welcome you all to join us in Markey Cancer Center's fight against cancers of all kinds. Owensboro Health has been a community vanguard and one of our earliest sites in the Clinical Trials Network, and really one of a handful of community programs that participated in the National Lung Screening Trial, and you've continued with your leadership in lung cancer screening, and you've also continued to demonstrate your excellence with most recently being awarded the Outstanding Achievement Award from the Commission on Cancer. And basically this will allow us to help more patients in and around Kentucky. And as a National Cancer Institute designated cancer center, we do have the obligation not just to take care of those patients that come through our doors in Lexington, but also reach out and help those across the region. And one of the best ways that we can take on Kentucky's cancer burden, the highest in the country, is to expand the access to the latest and greatest treatments that are available done through clinical research. Additionally, as an academic medical center, we have an obligation to keep improving in cancer care, not just the standard of care, but to take it to the next level. And we do that through research, taking these studies from bench to bedside, and University of Kentucky and Markey Cancer Center have several examples of that. We strongly believe that Owensboro Health is a key component in our battle against cancer, so strongly that in fact we've brought members of our research teams, our quality assurance teams, pharmacy, as well as precision medicine team, Markey Cancer Center Affiliate Network, and Kentucky Clinical Trials Network, as well as the Kentucky Leads Collaborative, which is going to build on your experience and exposure in lung cancer screening. So I encourage you all to use today as an opportunity to engage with our colleagues that are scattered amongst you to find new ways that we can collaborate and see what our next step is going to be. By joining the Markey Research Network, Owensboro Health will have access to a portfolio of clinical studies, particularly those that are best suited to your population and focusing on the most prevalent cancers in your area. And as an NCI designated center, Markey does have access to a host of unique studies. And so Owensboro Health will not only have access to many of our Markey investigator-initiated science, but also these national trials, and will be available through your relationship with Markey. So we're not just here to offer access to our clinical studies, but also to make acute care services more streamlined for those critically ill patients that come through Owensboro Health and need the services that may be available at University of Kentucky Healthcare and Markey Cancer Center. So again, I thank you for your confidence in Markey Cancer Center, and I look forward to developing this relationship with the benefits and the programs, and more importantly, the benefits to our patients. Now we're going to hear from the director of the UK Markey Cancer Center. Since arriving in Kentucky in 2009, Dr. Mark Evers has led Markey Cancer Center to many accomplishments, including the prestigious National Cancer Institute designation in 2013. This was the first for Kentucky, and a distinction that's really been earned only by 68 other programs across the country. And so with Dr. Evers' commitment to expanding Markey's unique portfolio, we look forward to continuing to have an impact in our battle across this region. Thank you. Dr. Evers.
Thanks, everybody. And I want, on behalf of all my colleagues at Markey Cancer, I just really want to express how pleased and excited we are to have this opportunity to work with the team at Owensboro Health's Mitchell Memorial Cancer Center to conquer cancer in the Commonwealth. Unfortunately, as you've all heard, Kentucky is home to some of the highest rates of cancer incidence and mortality in the nation, especially for lung cancer. According to the Kentucky Cancer Registry, the most recent 5-year statistics show that Davis County alone had more than 3,000 cases of invasive cancer and more than 1,200 deaths from cancer. So we're here today to change these grim statistics. When Markey earned NCI designation in 2013, it was not only a well-deserved recognition of the work that had been done by many individuals, it was also a promise. And that promise was that, to our state, that we would continue our efforts to find better ways to fight cancer, and a promise to reduce the burden that cancer inflicts on our patients and their loved ones. The only way to fight cancer and other chronic diseases is through research. So every new drug, every new therapy, any new treatment protocols for cancer are born from basic translational and clinical studies. So by joining the Markey Research Network and offering more clinical trials to your patients, you are helping us to make a positive impact on cancer mortality rates. Much of our clinical work and research is and will remain focused on the areas that bear the heaviest cancer burden. For appropriate patients, clinical trials represent the best new treatment option available for their cancer, a treatment that they could not get anywhere else. And we are thrilled that Owensboro Health will now be able to run many of these studies right here on site, providing even more access to citizens of Western Kentucky. So as an NCI-designated cancer center, we have an obligation to reach outside our local patient population and to serve the region at large, to bring these new and novel treatments to those in the most need for these treatments. At the same time, we want to keep patients closer to home, eliminating the stresses that come from traveling long distances for health care. That's where the Markey Research Network will bridge this gap between necessity and barriers to receiving the best treatment. So Owensboro Health is a fantastic example of a hospital system with the resources and the clinical research experiences to make this new network succeed. And we couldn't be more excited to bring you all on board. Your participation as one of our selected Markey Research Network sites will further enhance this relationship, and it will improve our ability to positively impact healthcare in Western Kentucky. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you. So it's my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Robert Powell, who's the Dean of the University of Kentucky College of Medicine. So Dr. Powell came to Kentucky from New Jersey, where he served as director of the Rutgers Cancer Institute. He's a national leader in cancer research and certainly understands the importance of growing access to clinical trials here in Kentucky. Please welcome Dr. Powell.
Well, it's certainly a pleasure to be here. And many of you don't know, I'm here now about a year and a half in Kentucky, and we absolutely love it and see the importance of Markey Cancer Center and all we do at the University of Kentucky and UK Healthcare for patients in Kentucky. I want to particularly thank you, Greg, and your whole team here. This is an incredibly important partnership, as you just heard, and certainly also with the Mitchell Memorial Cancer Center. This is critical to taking the next steps, and certainly it's a pleasure to have passionate partners with a desire to change the landscape of healthcare, especially in a state with great need. And obviously you've heard those statistics, and we're in the process of changing that. And in today's rapidly changing health environment, the treatment possibilities are growing exponentially. I think if any of you look at the curves that just say how many new treatment options do we have in oncology in any one year, it's a steep trajectory. We have many new options that are complex, but certainly an organization like yourselves, partnered with Markey, can actually bring those to patients in a more rapid manner, and I think that's key if we're going to offer patients above standard of care. At the UK Healthcare and Markey Cancer Center, it is our clear objective to use evidence-based practice to provide expert clinical care to each of our patients, no matter what level of that complexity. Through effective clinical trials, as you heard, we evaluate evidence in an effort to increase the rate of prevention, improve diagnosis, and advance treatment by utilizing now even precision medicine techniques. As a whole, the University of Kentucky Healthcare College of Medicine emphasize new cutting-edge therapies, new clinical trials, and especially team-based approaches. I think that's more important than ever before. We need multiple disciplines together. And in fact, we recently launched what we call a multidisciplinary value program, where we support new teams of researchers with clinicians to more rapidly bring new clinical trials to patients. And for example, even Dr. Evers and his team has recently had one of those awards with a clinical trial that's altering lipid metabolism, so cancer cell metabolism, with a new targeted drug to improve in colorectal cancer. And we have many other examples. Dr. Sinclair, who's part of the research team of Markey, just received a large grant to form a center in what's called cancer metabolism. And that's looking at more effective ways, therapeutic ways to starve cancer cells, an approach that's gaining kind of a national prominence in terms of a successful way to target. And you probably already heard in terms of Dr. Kolesser, Dr. Arnold, Dr. Miller, starting what we're calling, and what Markey's calling a molecular tumor board. And that's the way to actually apply precision medicine. And I'll tell you, just maybe just a bit off script, many years ago, the first patient that I actually was part of, at least their care, that took advantage of precision medicine was back a number of years ago, and it kind of illustrates even today the importance of that approach. It was a 12-year-old girl who had come to the center who had a brain tumor that had spread throughout the body, and especially in her spine. She had already been seen by pediatric oncologists, had every single chemotherapy that was standard for that disease, and nothing was working. And she went through the molecular tumor board. Gene sequencing was done on her tumor, and we found 3 gene abnormalities. And back then, so this is now 4 years ago, 5 years ago, one of the genes was very well known. It was what was called a RAF V600E mutation, RAF kinase mutation. The importance of that is that there was a drug available, there still is today, targeting that gene abnormality, but it was used in adult melanoma for the most part. It wasn't known in the type of cancer she would have had. We would never even identified it if the gene sequencing wasn't done. The team put together a treatment plan, and we were actually able to get that drug for her, even though it was off-label and used for another use. So given an option that just wouldn't have been available without those advanced technologies. So very, very important. We know that the collaboration here will allow us to bring therapies like that and technologies like that more effectively to patients in this community, without a doubt. So we know that the collaboration, both across our campus and across our state, is certainly the best way for our teams to improve healthcare. Together, we will be able to accomplish more than we could ever do alone. The partnership that we established today is one of 6 in the network and demonstrates our commitment to the citizens of Owensboro. And if you don't know this, our new EVPHA coming in, it's from Owensboro, so we're very excited about that, and a little off script. But obviously also the importance to the Commonwealth overall. Moving forward, we will continue to apply our clinical discoveries and effectively use resources as we seek to provide exceptional care and eventually discover the cure for cancer. Thank you again for your time today. This partnership and growth of the Markey Cancer Center Research Network is an extension of our service and our research, which will ultimately create a positive impact for this community and the state as a whole. So thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Powell. I tell you, it's just something about a partnership that makes things work so much better. And I think the fact that we have real high-quality researchers, doctors here in Owensboro as well as in UK, and making a difference for the entire state by pulling these resources together are certainly important. The clinical trials certainly are the backbone of cancer research. But as Dr. Powell mentioned on a personal note, I mean, most of us have had some exposure to cancer. 36 years ago this year, I lost my wife to cancer. So it's not just a nice thing to say we're a partner with UK. It is a hope that research will continue to do things that will change the lives of people and help people to live a better, more vibrant life because of the research that will be done here. So I'm grateful for our relationship with both personally and professionally with the UK, and I think that Dr. Karp, who is my peer at UK and certainly a friend that I've been involved with for the years that I've been in Owensboro, has done a great job in developing the UK, certainly the whole UK healthcare system. We look forward to his being down here for the next time that we have a gathering. But today, you know, I think we talk about putting a face on it. We want to show you a video of the face of real research and what's happening in, has happened at Owensboro, and somebody that would probably be a face of many people that you know that have had this happen to them. So if you'll start the video, we'll watch it.
I was diagnosed with cancer first part of March 2016. After I first found out I had cancer, I was very scared that this might limit my life and I not be able to see my girls and especially my grandchildren through adulthood, and that was very scary. I love my life. I've had a very good life. My grandkids are probably the best part of my life so far. We play together, we laugh. Being with my grandchildren is the joy of my life. Was laying in bed one night and just kind of stretched and yawned and ran my hand over my chest, and there it was. There was a big knot, just as big as you please, on the surface of my skin. I found the lump on a Friday, so I called my OBGYN on Monday. On the following Monday, they gave me my diagnosis as positive for cancer. Getting the news was stunning, numbing, scary. It was just mind-blowing. It's hard to describe. Once I got it set in my mind, okay, I've got this, I've got to get through this, I was not going to let this change my life any more than necessary.
Clinical trials provide patients with additional treatment options they may not have otherwise, some more hope and access to newer treatments that may show benefit. Every day I rely on the results of multiple clinical trials. I couldn't make recommendations with this strong confidence in my treatments without the benefit of that knowledge from prior studies, prior trials. The benefit to having clinical trials available here close to home is that it's a difficult time the patients are going through with their cancer treatments and diagnosis. It's beneficial to be home in your familiar environment with friends and family and all the support that you need.
It's important to stay here at home where I could do what I needed to do without interrupting my life and everybody else's life. There was no reason to travel anywhere else.
My hopes for Cindy as she joined this clinical trial was for her to feel a sense of fulfillment, that she's contributing to possibly future generations, her children and her grandchildren, for the advancement of cancer treatment.
Talking to her, like, you know, it may help somebody else. Thinking down the line, you know, they're not going to know anything more if people don't do this.
Partnering with UK is exciting because through our partnership we have access to many more clinical trials than we would have alone. They can serve as a hub where a lot of the more difficult cases, trials that require a more rare type of patient, we can collaborate together and pool our resources and benefit patients in a whole. We could bring the resources that the UK has right here to Owensboro. It's like the hub and the spoke analogy, right? Going back to them.
My mother had breast cancer. 2 of her sisters had breast cancer. 7 months after I was diagnosed, my sister was diagnosed with breast cancer. And then I've got 2 young girls that I had to think about. So anything that's going to help them or anybody else is high on my priority list.
Clinical trials are very influential and vital to the progress that cancer care in America has gone through. And it's so important to keep growing, progressing, learning, improving the survival rates,
They've got to have things to look at to keep going ahead with it, and hopefully make it a lot easier for everybody else.
I think clinical trials are responsible for most of the advances medicine has made, as well as cancer treatment.
So if you're a cancer patient and we did not have clinical trials available here in Owensboro, you may not have access to new medications, you may not have access to new technologies that you would otherwise.
I could not have made it through this without all the people involved. The Cancer Center, my grandchildren, my children, my family and friends, they've all been a big help. My health today is wonderful. I've got my strength back, I've got my energy back, I play with the kids, I go to work every day. So it's great to be back to normal. It's just wonderful. I didn't expect to be doing this well this quickly. I couldn't ask for her to be doing any better.
So that's the stories, and that's one of many that you would hear at any cancer center, I'm sure. But I think it's important for us to really appreciate the significance of what this means in Owensboro and for our cancer center. We already have a great cancer center, but access to these clinical trials and this research will be exponentially more important going down the road. I think our physicians are extremely pleased with our tumor board. Were the ones that actually brought it and said, you know, we'd love to do this with UK. We're honored to be a part of that, and for the people from UK, I think they need to see y'all stand together, because they brought not just these 3 or 4 guys that spoke, but a whole team. Could y'all stand for them, UK? What you do every day, and thank you for letting us be a partner side by side with you to make a difference in healthcare in the region that we serve. Some 14 counties and 400,000 people. We serve over 1,000 people every year at our cancer center and do, I think, an outstanding job, and it's evidenced by what we've been able to accomplish. So on behalf of our board of directors and certainly an administrative team, I want to thank Dr. DiPaolo, Dr. Evers, Dr. Mullins, Dr. Abel for your part of the video, for what you do every day in making a difference, and certainly the other medical oncologists, radiation oncologists that are here as well. It is truly an honor to be a part of an institution that wants to see cancer eradicated. And I'd love to have it in my lifetime. That would be a great honor. So with that, I'm through. And thank you for your attendance today.